Thank you, Mr. Chair. If you're ready to begin with AB 223,
We're ready.
I am proud to present this bill. It's about the privacy and safety of our youth, particularly our transgender youth. As you know, California has provided tools needed for persons to change their vital records that match their gender identity. However, the petition and the resulting paperwork are a matter of public information, discoverable with a simple internet search. And as we've done a lot over the last decade to allow counties to digitize their records, that's been a generally good thing, that you can be able to discover information. However, this is one of those unintended consequences that matches what we're seeing with many of our youth and their advocates out in the field, where they don't necessarily want to be outed because these individuals are becoming known when a third party, like a classmate, discovers the information and then would out them to the peers. This can unacceptably lead to harassment and bullying. It's an extremely traumatic event for any individual, especially for those that are under 18. And allowing people to choose when and how they decide to share their information gives them the confidence to navigate their identity without fear of retaliation. This bill, AB 223, protects the privacy and mental health of transgender and non-binary youth by making common sense changes to the process for persons seeking a gender or sex identifier change by keeping the petition and resulting paperwork confidential by the court. It makes no changes to the actual process to change one's gender or name on a document, nor does it change the parental or familial access during that process. It simply ensures that any resulting paperwork remains private. I have been testifying in support Jonathan Clay on behalf of Trans Family Support Services and the Trans Youth Liberation, and for these reasons I will respectfully request your aye vote.
Thank you very much. All right.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, committee members. Jonathan Clay here on behalf of Trans Family Services and Trans Youth Liberation. I'm a board member for Trans Youth Liberation. We are a trans youth support group based out of San Diego, having served now and supported families and trans youth, over 3,500 families. With the help of what we help families navigate the journey of having a transgender child. A large part of this is who should know and needs to know this information. As Assemblymember Ward very eloquently stated, going through this process has been made easier over the years, starting with SB 179 and a number of other pieces of legislation since then. What a lot of families don't know going through this process is that this is all publicly available. And we've seen this with many of our families where kids are inadvertently outed because kids at this age love to Google search all their friends, and then all of a sudden they start seeing name and gender change court proceedings show up with this person's either dead name or their new name. And so for these reasons, we think this is just a very simple way to try and protect that process, allow the person that has gone through this process to make the decision about whether they want to share this information or not share this information. And I think that's very important for someone that has gone through this to have that ownership of their identity. So for these reasons, we strongly support this bill, and we greatly appreciate working with Assemblymember Ward, and here to answer any questions if you have them.
Alrighty, thank you. Others in support?
Greg Pulsifer on behalf of Equality California and strong support.
Thank you.
Molly Robeson with Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California and strong support.
Thank you.
Noah Bartelt on behalf of ACLU California Action in strong support.
Thank you. All right, let's turn to opposition. Those in opposition, please approach the microphone.
Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Kennedy. I'm an attorney and a member of Our Duty. AB 223 appears to be a car hooked up to the train of anti-parent, anti-child bills that we've had barreling towards California parents this session. AB 223 wants to take traditionally public records and make them confidential. And the theory goes, as we've heard, is that peers of closeted trans-identified kids will somehow locate these gender change records on the internet and out them and bully them relentlessly, and they may get depressed and commit suicide. This bill is not reflecting the reality as a public school parent. Ask any public school parent. We're in California in 2023. Kids are out at school. They are celebrated. They are part of the club. They get their pronouns and their new name on the first day of class when the teacher asks them. Kids these days are over it. So the bullying argument seems a little speculative. Second, we're talking about court records. Court records, even I as an attorney have difficulty finding court records. You have to have an account and a credit card. These are not searchable on easy little Google searches. So I'm interested to hear, because we've tried. It's very difficult to bring up these court records on an internet search. Plus, I don't see kids finding these records themselves when it's so difficult, when you got to look them up on the court websites. So the real evidence of bullying and the access to records seems quite a bit like a red herring here. And it makes me wonder that AB 223 looks a lot like a solution to a non-problem. And it's an unnecessary bill, but it comes with dangerous consequences. So who is AB 223 really protecting? And it looks like it's protecting the adults who wish to hide their changes of gender markers on birth certificates. And the obvious slippery slope here is that third parties unrelated to the child are allowed to, as they have always been, they've allowed to change these gender markers, and yet they're allowed to then hide the public access. And that is the problem. Notice closely in AB 223, there's no age range identified where records should be sealed to avoid this bullying and suicide. So now we've got adults petitioning to change the birth certificates of little children, young children, as we've heard, 5 years old, 3 years old, who cannot advocate for themselves, just like they cannot tell mommy to go in and file a petition to change their gender. So the real purpose appears to be to empower
Alrighty.
people.
Thank you.
third
If you'd
parties.
wrap that up.
Thank you, I will. So it has dangerous consequences. I think we should look carefully at the language, and I hope this won't result in this slippery slope, but it
all right.
certainly could. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next witness.
Hi, my name is Harrison Tinsley. I'm a single dad of a 3-year-old son. I'm here to speak against AB 223. My ex-girlfriend is trying to convince my son that he's a girl or non-binary. She uses they, them pronouns and clouds him up in dresses and makeup, even though he states, if you ask him, clearly that he's a boy. This is insane. He believes that Spider-Man's real, Santa Claus is real. Have we lost all ability to be rational? California is passing bills like AB 223 and 957. They'll not only favor the parent who is not affirming the child's own gender, but forcing a false gender identity on the child, favoring that parent. All of these bills give my ex-girlfriend preferential treatment to control what will be a colossal mistake for my son. How can these bills protect my son or my relationship with him? Could I flip it and say my son says he's a boy, she's saying he's gender neutral? Does that give me full custody? There's no requirement that one parent petitioning for the name change and sex marker change be of sound mind. Are we going to check these people's mental health before we let them change a kid's whole life and birth certificate? Had AB 223 been enacted, my ex could have changed his name and sex marker and run off with my son. You see, I didn't meet my son until he was 15 months old. I fought in family court that whole time in San Francisco, and that's how long it took, and now I have half custody. I'm proud of that, and I'd do anything for him. But AB 223 will permit children like my son to vanish without a trace from narcissistic parents' revenge. Stop empowering parents who want to subject their children to experimental, irreversible harm, and instead, vote with parents who love their children for who they are, who they were born. And 2 minutes isn't enough. I beg you to ask me questions. Let's talk about 957-223. I really think you guys need to understand family court more. They really do have a chance to take custody away from parents from the wording of these. I've been in family court for 3.5 years. I know about it. Please ask me questions, parent to parent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, others who are in opposition, please approach the microphone, give us your name, your affiliation, and your position.
Tara Thornton, co-founder of Freedom Angels, in opposition.
Thank you.
Shannon Heil from Sacramento, and I'm in opposition.
Thank you.
Joshua Coleman from Roseville. I vehemently oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Heather from Sacramento County. I oppose.
Thank you.
Catherine McBride, California Parents Union, strongly opposes anti-parent bill.
Thank you.
Kasia Williams, on behalf of California Parents Union, representing parents across California in opposition to AB 223. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm in opposition of that bill, and all of this is unconstitutional, and you guys are
Thank
fired.
you very much. All right. Thank you. All right.
Denise Aguilar, co-founder of Freedom Angels, in opposition.
Thank you.
Stephanie, American citizen, also in opposition.
Thank you.
Amy Anderson from Orangevale, in opposition.
Thank you.
Barbara Walker from Alameda, on behalf of Reality, I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Audra Sterrett, Fair Oaks, California, a parent, and I'm opposed.
Wendy Minas from Los Angeles, California. On behalf of my children, my friends and family, I oppose AB 223. Thank you.
Wendy Schaffner, not that it seems to matter, but I oppose.
Evelyn Gonzalez, grandmother, mother from Stockton, California. I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Patricia Cavada, I'm a mother and I oppose this bill.
Paisley Page from Placer County, Freedom Angels, and Mount Army. I oppose the bill.
AKA Geneva and Mrs. G, and I oppose this bill, and I'm opposing for Nicole Pearson as well. Thank you.
Margaret Rader, parent from Sacramento and Planet Earth, in opposition.
Gabrielle Ingram, mother and founder of Stand Up Sacramento County, and we all oppose.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Melissa, a mother of 4, and I also oppose.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Francisco Garibay, father of 7, and I oppose.
Thank you.
My name is Francisco and I oppose.
Thank you.
My name is Mary Jane and I oppose.
Thank you.
Lisa Disbro, founder of Informed Parents of Contra Costa, La Mirandans for Education, and a member of Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills,
Thank you.
in opposition.
Erin Friday, lead of Our Duty, and I oppose this child disappearance
Thank
bill.
you.
Abigail Martinez, and I oppose this bill. This is my daughter's ashes. Remember her.
Hui Junlan from Manteca, California, opposite for the AB 223.
Harrison Tinsley, strong opposition. Let's please have a dialogue.
Thank you. All right. Let's turn to the phone lines now for those in support and in opposition to AB 223. Just
Okay,
as
once
a
again, if you'd
reminder,
like to show
just
support-
name, affiliation, and position.
And it's 1, then 0 to show support or opposition. We'll start with line 393.
Hi, my name is, I'm calling on behalf of my husband, Daniel McKinnon, and myself. And my affiliation is the tens of thousands of parents you cut off on AB 9.
All right. And are you in support or opposition?
Arbitrary. I definitely oppose this.
All right. Thank you very much. Next
and
caller,
we need
please.
To engage in representative government because cutting.
Next, we'll go to line 248. Please go ahead.
Hello, this is Eric Harris, Disability Rights California, strong support.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to line 397. Please go ahead.
Hello, this is Amar Rashid with the County Behavioral Health Directors Association of California in support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to line 401. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Rebecca Gonzalez with the National Association of Social Workers, California chapter in support.
Thank you.
Next is line 133. Please go ahead.
Hi, this is Wendy Beal, Moms for Liberty, Placer County, and strong opposition of this parental rights debauchery.
Okay. Thank you.
Next is line 365. Please go ahead.
Clement Berry, Placer County, mother of 3, vehemently oppose this bill as well as 957.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to line 402. Please go ahead.
Sarah Kim, founder of TV Next, for the Asian community, strongly oppose this anti-parent bill.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to line 387. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm a parent, an educator, and a registered Democrat in LA County, and I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to line 409. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Amber Dela Cruz. I'm a registered nurse, and I oppose AB 223.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to line 403. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Gigi LaRue. I'm a registered Democrat, and I'm the in-state coordinator for Our Duty on behalf of thousands of California parents of trans-identified youth. I strongly oppose.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 400. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Raquel Holguin. I represent Catholic Families for Freedom, San Bernardino, and Riverside County, and we strongly oppose.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to line 388. Please go ahead.
Hi, this is Roberta Nortatis from Napomo, California, and I oppose this bill and AB 957 on
Thank
behalf
you.
of our children and grandchildren.
Alrighty, thank you very much.
Next, we go to line 404. Please go ahead.
Christine Campbell, concerned parent, in strong opposition.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 408. Please go ahead.
Grace Gregory, concerned woman, in strong opposition.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 410. Please go ahead.
I am Blake Anderson, a homeowner within an HOA and a registered voter in the Hillcrest neighborhood of San Diego City. I'm a normal gay person and not an LGBT gay, and I oppose the bill.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to line 356. Please go ahead.
Yes, hi, I am Sandy, and I'm a People of this Great Republic student of our Organic Constitution and California Constitution, and I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to line 377. Please go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Frankie Santos, and I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Next is line 413. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, my name is Nicole Malfi, and I oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to line 418. Please go ahead.
Olivia Mythos, Roseville, California. I oppose.
Thank you.
And next, we'll go to line 421. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Hello, my name is Tia Coby. I'm speaking on behalf of Tulare Coalition for Freedom, Blessings of Liberty, Porterville, California, UNMAS, Tulare County, Calvary Visalia Church, Rock Harbor Church, and joint support with Stand Up Sacramento County and Freedom Angels in strong opposition of AB 223.
Thank you.
And we have no further in queue.
All righty. Let's bring it back to committee. Questions? Yes, Senator Allen.
All right. I'm reading over the bill, and I realize I think what folks may not be aware of is that on June 5th, the bill was amended, and it's in a significant way because I think it ultimately really responds to some of the core concerns that I've heard about parents' access. They added in a line that said that the court shall limit access to the court records in the proceeding, including the register of actions, to the minor, any adult who signed the petition, the minor's parents or guardians ad litem, and any attorneys representing these individuals. So, as a result of this amendment, now, any parent would still have access to the records. So I understand the concern. Okay, I'm happy to hear your comment. Sure.
No.
I'm happy to ask him. Sure.
All right.
He was a witness, right?
All right. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
go ahead.
Sure. Okay.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I would have had no way to know what my son's name was or anything, or been able to find him. So there's definitely a possibility that it could have that happen.
All right.
And
does that answer your question, Senator Allen?
Well, I don't think it does because I think that it's still the you wouldn't be able to know. I mean, you'd be able to petition. I mean, the bill as it's written right now says that access will be guaranteed to the minor's parents. So,
but you have to establish paternity, right? As a dad, you don't just automatically get, unless the mom chooses to put you on the birth certificate, you don't get that luxury.
You would have no idea.
You would have no idea.
Oh, so you're talking about a situation so you're not
with the language, that's a possibility, right? And
you're still the parent of the kid.
That's right,
Yes.
and he's still forced to have to go into court to try to even discover where the child is.
And now I have half custody. So what if we disagree about now? Let's say tomorrow, amending.
But you have custody presumably because you've been established as the father.
Now that's correct.
That's
but,
right. But sorry.
But
go
what
ahead.
about someone in my situation after this passes? Couldn't they end up not ever getting to meet their child?
Oh, but you're talking about a much bigger problem than this. You're talking about a basic question of paternity rights, establishment of paternity. What this is about is this amendment is about ensuring that that a parent has access to these records. One of the things that I've heard over and over again from folks who are raising concerns is that this is about hiding a kid from a parent. But with the amendment, that issue is addressed. You got a unique situation with where you had your ex-girlfriend, it sounds like, denying your paternity.
Correct.
But that's something that you resolved in court. You're now established as a parent, and you now will have rights under this amendment to the bill.
Right, but what about the dad that had the same exact
They're
situation?
still going to have to go and get. Well, but that person's going to have to go get established their paternity, which is that they've got a broader problem, which you've addressed in your case.
But
All right.
Can it
All right.
be sealed now?
So,
All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this organized.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, all right.
Senator Allen, do you have a question?
no, I wanted to make when I was hearing the concerns, I started to flip through I went and read these amendments, and I think that I'm sure there are many issues that folks on the opposition side, will continue to have, but I think this whole issue of parental access has been addressed by the amendments that were taken on June 5th.
So, just to clarify something,
Yeah.
let me ask Assemblymember Ward. As I understand it, when one files a petition to change any aspect, name, gender, that you list the former name as well as the proposed name. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So if somebody is looking for a child under the former name and they are a parent, they would be able to find that record.
That is correct. Yeah,
All right.
nothing changes. Both the parents' involvement and the ability to make that existing process, pre or post this bill, and nothing would change with this bill's implementation on that process.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Senator Allen, any further questions?
Well, I guess, is the concern that right now anyone can go on basic record search and access this information, but as a parent, it's harder. If the bill were to pass, it would be harder for maybe an estranged parent to access these records. Is that what you're hearing from the opposition, Chris?
Estranged parent is still a parent.
Right.
Right. The issue is that free and open opportunity for any member of the public to find one's original name or gender prior to them transitioning as they identify, that would be kept confidential so that they can maintain their privacy and they can be in control of when to share that information. Right now, again, as everything has been made more publicly available, more accessible, we are hearing that the increased incidence of that unintentional outing trace back to the ability to be able to search for some of these documents. And to your earlier point, the amendments that were taken, they were discovered early in our assembly conversations in the Judiciary Committee over there. And so working closely with Judicial Council, we wanted to make sure the intent was always there, but by adding that language to preserve parental rights, we made it explicitly clear that right is preserved and is there through this bill.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Other questions, comments? Seeing none, is there a motion? Senator Wiener moves the bill. All right. Let's go ahead and, if you care to close, go ahead and close.
I really am grateful for your attention to this. If there's any subsequent questions beyond this, if and as it moves forward through the Senate, happy to work with all of you and respectfully request your aye vote.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Madam Secretary, if you'd call the roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Senator Wiener.
Senator Wiener.
This is file item number 12, AB 223. The motion is to pass. Umberg.
Aye.
Umberg, aye. Wilk. Allen. Allen, aye. Ashby. Ashby, aye. Caballero. Caballero, aye. Durazo. Durazo, aye. Laird. Min. Min, aye. Nilo. Stern. Wiener. Wiener, aye. 7-0 members missing.
All right. 7-0. We'll put that on call.